Hello and welcome. I'm Garima, and joining me on the Dais today is Dr. Milap Goud, founder and president at Knnamp Enterprises. Thank you so much for joining me today, sir. It's an absolute delight to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Garma, for inviting.
So let's begin with your story, your unique inspiration behind joining this industry. What has been your why? Tell us, take us through your career path, your roots, and how has the story been so far?
I started oil field as a ONGC chemist in 1980.
Wow.
Worked in Ahmedabad, Assam, and Bombay, and learned a lot of things, not only related to technology, but as I always say, and I will continue to say, more and more on how to deal with people. People from Gujarat, people from Assam, people from Maharashtra, all have their different values, different perceptions, different cultures. So I learned from all of them, and I am thankful to all those people, every single individual who has taught me. Some people taught me what to do, some people taught me what not to do, but I still learn from them.
Right.
And it was in 1996 when I was on a Key project of ONGC awarded to Baker Hughes in Tech, where I came across more expatriates than the Indians. And I started introspecting that if these people can do, then what is there which I cannot do? After all, they are people. I am a person. And I was very keenly observing them. And I really inculcated a lot of things. And the best part which I took from them is the conviction. They have strong conviction of what they're doing. So that gave me the confidence. And I took the first plunge of moving out of a safe zone of ONGC where you have a secured job and landed in Oman where everything is so unsecured. And it was in 1996 and 1997, there was a big oil crisis where the prices slashed to less than $10 a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And every passing day, we had this fear in our mind that probably next day is going to be our last day. But that gave a lot of strength to stay calm in crisis. Crisis will disappear. And I learned a lot of things with Omani culture and a lot of new ideas, a lot of new ways of dealing with the things. And on all occasions, the one thing which was common was that if you make a good wavelength with the person, that person will do anything for you. Anything, I bet. I bet on people actually. I don't bet on technology.
Right.
Developed a lot, and in 2000, I got an opportunity to work for Baker Hughes in Tech. It's a multinational company of US based, and I'm very proud to say that I am the first mud engineer in India who has delivered these services on a deep water drilling location, which later on turned out to be a big new discovery. And I joined Reliance then in 2002, and the KG-D6 recovery, which was the 2002, the biggest discovery of the world. I am proud to say that I am a part of that team, and I still cherish those memories, those celebrations after the discovery, and those hard work during the discovery. We continued there for almost a decade. I reached my superannuation, and I am still grateful to Reliance that they continued my services after superannuation also. And during that time, I invented some new chemicals also. Then I got an opportunity to work on the role which I had never been into it, contract management. So I always thought, okay, let me see what are the constraints of the people who handle the contract management. So far, I have been sitting on the other side of the table and only looking at they are not doing this, they are not doing that. No, they may be doing something which I am not able to understand. And I took up that challenge. I worked in Kuwait and I learned the art of negotiating with the people. Again, dealing with the people. Dealing with the people is going to stay with you all walks of your life.
Right.
Right now, I am dealing with you.
Right. Right.
And yes, then I came back to India and I worked for Knnamp company of drilling fluids. They wanted to expand their business in India
Mm-hmm.
and they had their offices in Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work from Mumbai for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we built a big lab for them of the Eastern Hemisphere, biggest lab. Did a lot of work from them. And that's the time when I thought, how long will I go to continue to work for others only? And that so-called entrepreneur bug that hit me. And I said, enough is enough. No, whatever may be the case, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to lay the first brick of my own lab in Mumbai. And it again makes me feel proud to share that mine is the only lab which is independent. I mean, it is not associated with any big company. To say that the lab is belonging to a owner who is not into the business of bidding or acquiring services. So mine is an independent QA, QC accreditation type of lab. And I do take contracts for mud formulations and all. And this is time when I discovered some new more additives and the patent office has been filed. Continuing the journey, and then I will talk more at a later stage about the pandemic situation, about the COVID-19, where I try to take up internship.
Right. Sir, you have had such a fascinating, such a diverse and rich experience, I would say, in the industry over 40 years. And it's difficult to sum it up in, a 10, 20-minute conversation. It's not easy. And I'm sure it's not easy for you to explain your journey to us. But what I've noticed in your story is that it puts a spotlight on a very important issue, that is people in the oil and gas industry. Today, we are talking about technology. We are talking about Industry 4.0, oil and gas 4.0. How are you looking at the collaboration between technology and people today?
Very good point, Garima. Yes, it's no doubt that technology has a role to play, but I would say that it is actually a union of technology and the people, which is always going to stand apart. And no matter how small or how big, everybody has a consensus desire to be felt important and to be felt contributing in the growth.
Right.
And this is where the technocrats have to learn and play a role, that the people who are into diversified assignments also have to contribute. And we, all technocrats, I would say all technocrats should diversify, should widen their horizon and try to encompass all those people who have a point to say. And the best way to do is put yourself into his shoe and look into the situation. And this is what I have been doing. And this is what I want to continue to do. Understanding the people will help technology grow at a faster rate. And any idea, any suggestion coming from anybody is not a waste. Every idea has a time, and when the time comes, that idea becomes the utmost important. There are this scientific world is full of examples where a lot of discoveries have happened by sheer accident. So if accidents can create discovery, thoughts will definitely create. Let them be from anybody. A person from accounts group can contribute to the technology. So I always think that the people should be given the importance. People should be kept in the forefront of the operations, in the forefront of the progress of the company. It is the people who run the country, who run the company, whether it is people from the technology, people from the operations, people from the research, people from the finance, people from the corporate, everybody has a role. I think it's like a bouquet of flower, Every flower has got its own beauty. But at the end of the day, it is the bouquet which is the most important. So every individual is a flower and the group of people is a bouquet, which is most beautiful than any single flower. So my humble request to everybody is that please give people more priority and they will 100% reciprocate and they will deliver more than your expectations.
Right, sir. And this is such a beautiful analogy, I would say, because it also highlights the subject of collaboration in the industry, how
Yes.
important it is to collaborate as team, as a community. And considering the crisis we have before us, sir, today, COVID-19, these are very unprecedented times. We do not know how the situation will evolve in the times to come. How are you looking at this crisis, and in what ways are you trying to contribute your bit into this situation and help everyone thrive through this crisis?
Thank you, Garma. I'm very happy that you asked this question. I look at it a different perspective, actually. I don't honestly believe in crisis, to be honest with you. Crisis is a different situation which we did not anticipate. And if only we respond positively, then crisis becomes an opportunity. Like staying at home, not able to go to office, not able to apparently contribute. I would say contribute, yes, but not apparently contribute. People may not be actually looking at, may not be realizing what they are contributing. But work from home, technology, and most important, trying to reach out to people in all walks of life. I always pondered that this crisis has restricted the movement of the people. And then I stuck, oh my God, there are several petroleum engineering students who always go for their internship to big companies, stay there for months, do their internship, and submit their report, all sorts of university formalities, So I thought, what would I be doing if I'm a student and if I don't have an opportunity? Oh, I said, yes, I must think of it. I am very active on LinkedIn. Actually, I spend good time on LinkedIn. And then I posted a post on LinkedIn that all those who are stuck or unable to get the opportunity, please approach me and I would try to contribute my penny in whatever it is. And I'm glad one boy from UPES, he just responded to my message. It is just a small link, a thread. A boy of third year engineering from Petroleum Engineering University responded to my query. I grabbed it. I said, good. And then we started our interaction with UPES first, and but I did not confine myself to UPES. I said, why only UPES students? Students are students. They could be from MIT, they could be from PDPU, they could be from RGIPT, from anywhere. You'll be happy to know, Garma, that I am having students from Dibrugarh,
Wow.
having students from Jaipur, from Raebareli,
Wow.
from Chennai. And my message to all my dear students, they are dear to me. I may not probably be remembering or communicating with the university authorities, but I'm surely going to stay in touch with all these students throughout my life. And they come in all different perspectives. They bring in a lot of new things. So this is how it all started in the month of end of the April. I started picking up batches of internship, and again, it gives me a lot of satisfaction to say that I have already completed 80 odd students internship and still going on. And the crisis then turned out to be an opportunity, and the students, I must say that students today are much, much smarter than what I was in those years.
Yes.
That's credit to them. They have a strong desire to excel.
Right, right.
And they just need an atmosphere. They just need some channel.
Right, sir. And what you're doing is so commendable. I would like to congratulate you on your initiative because it is a noble cause. Considering the times we are in, you are actually helping so many people out there. It is something really commendable, and I would like to appreciate you for the work you are doing today. And to everyone who is listening to our conversation right now, I would request you to connect with Dr. Milap if you have not already connected with him on LinkedIn, and reach out to him if you need any help with your internships, any query that you have in the technical domain or in the expertise that he has in the industry. And I am confident that he will help you. He will help you in your journey. He will help you uh, transition to a better path, to a better career prospect. Thank you so much, sir. That is something really commendable. And I would like to congratulate you again for this initiative.
It was a pleasure, Garima. The pleasure is mine.
Yes, sir. And sir, also you are the founder and president of Knnamp Enterprises, right? The story you told us about this organization. Again, coming back to the times we are in, it's particularly hard for the founders and entrepreneurs, the small business owners, the startups in oil and gas industry to survive through this crisis, to respond to this crisis. The struggle is very, very real. What would be your message for them? How should they respond to the current situation?
Keep going. Wait for the wind to turn favorable, and have endurance. A lot of endurance is required. Tough times. You might probably not be making as much revenue as you might have thought, but I'm 100% sure that all the efforts are going to yield the results. We are not able to see the results today. It is like, if I pick up a hammer and I start hitting on an object, then the object will break at the 100th stroke of the hammer. But the 99 strokes have contributed to the 100th stroke. So it is not straight away the 100th stroke which is broken. Right. So our efforts, which are not giving us any visible results, which are sometimes making us a little disillusioned, just retain your faith and keep going. and keep expanding your contacts. Come in touch with more and more nice and helpful people like Garima, and I am sure results will show. And if not individually, it is a collaborative approach.
Right.
Group, form a group who are like-minded people who have got the same objective of, and I would also like to share here that we otherwise also owe a lot to our country. So going by the lines of our Honorable Prime Minister Atmanirbhar, we have to generate everything within our own country. We have people, we have tremendously knowledgeable people. I am very happy to say that the competence level of we all Indians is second to none. We just need to shed our personal interests aside. This brings me another point. I read it somewhere, it's very good. That if we do not care who gets the credit of what we are doing, then we can do whatever we want to do.
Absolutely.
So, 1 minute, rising above the normal. Let us not think who is getting the credit for what I am doing, and I'm sure people will recognize. Stay connected, talk to people, communicate, use the platforms available. And nowadays, the platforms are so wide, you know. You have no shortage of people reaching out to you as well as you reaching out to them. This is what
Right.
I say.
Right. So that's a very beautiful and inspiring message, considering what we have before us. And it also highlights how important is knowledge sharing in the industry today, and especially in the Indian oil and gas industrial landscape. Because
Yes,
as we are aware, we are also experiencing what we refer to as the great crew change. The younger generation is arriving in the industry
yes,
and the senior professionals are retiring. There's so
yes,
much of knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that is there with them, with
yes.
people like you yourself. How important it is to share that knowledge. You have rightly pointed out this, and in a way through your platform and by offering internships to students out there, you are actually passing on that knowledge to other people. That
It's
is
just like relay race, you know. You have run your race, now pass on the baton to the next.
right, sir. Right, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sir, on this note, what would be your message for the global oil and gas community? Because considering your experience, you have been exposed to different parts of the world while working, right? You have been exposed to different cultures. You have observed those surroundings very closely. And you have seen what times they were in and how the situation might be affecting them today. What would be your message for the global oil and gas community today?
I would say, Garima, that the results are always two types of results, invisible and visible results.
Right, sir.
But we actually have to have an insight to also understand the invisible results, and reaching out to people at a global level is basically conveying a message that let us work for the common interest of both the parties. We don't have to meekly surrender to anyone, and at the same time there is no need to unnecessarily dominate anybody. Let us stand together. Let us find a platform where it is a win-win situation. We have this and you need this, or we need this, you have this. Let us understand that these geographical boundaries created as India, England, America are all geographical boundaries. If for 1 minute we think beyond this geographical boundary, we are all humans We're all spread over the entire world. And why can we not, the whole world, be a family where we look after each other? Somebody may have more, somebody may have less. It's not that I'm not in favor of giving away something to somebody just like that, but making him realize that you can overcome this shortness by the strength what you have in, and striking a balance. So the best thing, the best thing you can give to anybody is to make him understand himself. If people understand themselves by interacting with you, then there's nothing like that.
Right.
And whether someone agrees or not, I am of a very strong opinion that you may face resistance, you may face isolation, you may face neglection, you may feel that you are probably a victim of lobbying and all those things, but there is victory beyond that. There is victory beyond that. And these things are nothing but they are testing your perseverance.
Right.
If you persevere, then these things will vanish. And it's an honest statement. I have realized it when I interact with my US counterparts. I realized that those people who were steadfastly opposing me in my Reliance days are now one of my best friends. It's goes on.
Right.
Be honest, be true to yourself.
Right.
No need to succumb or no need to dominate. That's all I feel. Yeah.
This is very empowering. This is very empowering. Coming from you, this is a very strong and empowering message. And on this note, what do you think, sir, would go beyond this crisis? All that we learn in this point of time, what would stay with the professionals, the students, and the global community? What is beyond COVID-19?
Beyond COVID-19 is progress and lots of happiness. I have seen several clients and anti-clients in the oil field, oil prices going down to as low as less than $10 a barrel, and I see $150 a barrel. And every time when dollars fluctuate, when it goes towards the sinusoidal curve on the lower side, there has to be a sort of panicky. And I tell my students, mainly my students, because they have this apprehension, sir, what is going to happen to us? We are today in the third year after completing our BTech, where do we go? I said, you are going to soar heights which I have not seen. Oil is going to last. It's not going to go away. It will be there. There is still lots and lots of reserves. My reservoir friends and geological friends will be able to speak better on this. Mm-hmm. And the biggest source of energy, natural gas hydrates, is not yet tapped. Mm-hmm. So there is no dearth of energy. Alternate sources of energy will continue to grow, mm-hmm. but they are not going to be a threat to the oil energy. They are going to be a growth partners to us. So let us not get bogged down by the progress. If somebody is progressing, it is very good. We will also progress.
Right.
Let's go together.
Right.
And yes, there are lots and lots of reserves, even in India. And yes, I'm sure we will make progress, and we will use alternate technology also to supplement and cut down on our import bills, right. Which is a good part of it.
Right, right. Yeah. And this gives so much hope, so much courage, so much strength, because the narrative today we have is that of human resilience. Everything is being tested. And you have articulated it very beautifully, that what should we all focus on and how we can make the most of this crisis. As the saying goes, never waste a good crisis. And you have actually pointed out those crucial elements by helping us understand. how are you yourself contributing to the whole situation?
I'll say I'm trying, that's all.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I always believe if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. Sir, on this note, thank you so much for joining me today on the Dais. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, understanding your rich experience and journey in the industry. And it's extremely commendable what you are doing today to help people out there. And I would again urge our viewers to connect with Dr. Milap and ask him for any help regarding your career path, development, any help that you may need. He is
And
definitely.
I'm saying that on this platform, I will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you
Sure.
so much.